Hey guys, it's Paradise, and looter shooters just might be back on the menu. We have a bunch of new details for Borderlands 4, the latest entry in the series that basically started the genre. So whether you've been following the franchise since those early days or you started with something like Borderlands 3, there's quite a lot to unpack here. With new Vault Hunter characters to play, a mysterious new planet as the setting, and the tone of the game taking a step in an interesting direction, let's break it all down. So drop a like below if you enjoy our videos on the latest gaming news, and first thing is first, let's talk about where this new Borderlands adventure takes place in. The mysterious planet that the new game is set on is called Kairos, which is completely sealed within a massive protective barrier, or at least it was. It's meant to be a brutal and dangerous planet unlike anything we've seen in the Borderlands universe before, and it isn't just another desolate wasteland. There's a lot going on story-wise that is sure to mix things up as well. But to explain how we get there, within the teaser trailer, we saw Pandora's moon collide with Kairos' atmosphere, ripping open the massive protective barrier around the planet. This caused chaos with meteorites raining down that actually scattered bandit masks everywhere. And this is basically the backdrop for the new main players within the story. Firstly, we have the Timekeeper, who is the game's antagonist. He rules Kairos with an iron fist and commands an army of synthetic soldiers called the Order. Then on the other side, we have Queen Callis and her terrifying horde of bandits known as the Rippers. This faction originated from the moon's collision with the barrier and the bandit masks dropping everywhere. So these two factions are battling over control of the planet, and we know this is the point where we as the player jump into the mayhem. You might be wondering how the gameplay will be updated this time around, and Gearbox is promising this will be the most ambitious entry in the series to date. If the sheer scale of the loot wasn't already massive enough in previous Borderlands games, now we're talking about more loot than ever, larger and more freeform exploration, and a revamped combat system. The trailer also hints at some large-scale boss battles and various diverse environments, and we've actually seen several different vehicle types for traversal. Now, it is well known at this point that the tone of the Borderlands game leans heavily on its humor, often with the kind of jokes labeled as toilet humor. For some players, this was of course part of the charm of Borderlands, while for others it felt a bit overdone, especially over so many games. The narrative director, Sam Winkler, has said he remains firm on his criticism of Borderlands 3's overabundance of toilet humor, suggesting that the new Borderlands game might go in a slightly different direction than that of Borderlands 3. He specifically stated, "I'm not going to say there's no toilets, but if the word skibbity ships in the game under my watch, I'm going to cry real tears." Paul Tassi joked that we were going to have a gun called Hawk Tour, and a fellow dev asked me if it was real, and I wanted to put my hand down the sink grinder. So if you ever felt the humor was a bit overdone, it looks like this time around we can expect a slightly more darker and sharper tone, but it is still a Borderlands game, so you know certain jokes are still gonna make it in there. So far in the trailer we got a look at quite a few weapons, although not all of them were actually used, so we couldn't see exactly what they do. But there was a laser beam gun, various pistols and rifles shown, and of course it is Borderlands, there's gonna be some crazy ones. Now, as a Borderlands game, there are of course the Vault Hunters, which are our playable classes, and this time we have 4 to pick from, each of course having their own unique abilities. It's obvious that people aren't too happy with the designs of them this time around though, with many comments on the trailer sharing the sentiment that they feel a bit bland and forgettable when they're meant to be the iconic main characters of the game. Some stating that they look like they could just be any old NPC. I've seen others suggest there might be a character creator, and some are saying they think they've made them bland to pave way for skins, but only time will tell. I will say I do think the big guy looks pretty cool though. It's obvious we have a Siren character here with the purple tattoos, and of course a tank-style character with a half-human, half-robot theme. The other two are a bit unknown, but we did see this gameplay clip of one of the Vault Hunters on the left using some kind of exosuit and glowing tech blades, suggesting he's probably some kind of assassin-style character. We also saw a very cool move from the tank Vault Hunter, using what looks like drones to morph into a fire and ice axe to then throw at enemies, which is pretty cool. Something else to point out in the trailer is that we saw what I believe to be is a slightly older looking Zane, which is really cool to see for any fans of the older games, with of course his iconic abilities like his clone and shoulder gun and barrier. There's also great news for anyone who loves playing with friends, and that is that Borderlands 4 is going to bring back 2-player local co-op split screen and 4-player online co-op, which is massively appreciated for a Borderlands game. It is a small detail, but in a world where local co-op often feels like a bit of an afterthought, it's nice to see Gearbox continuing to support this feature. But you might wonder, what is next? Well, Gearbox have announced that a gameplay reveal is coming in early 2025. This will hopefully give us a deeper look into the various mechanics and systems, and those new Vault Hunters too. Until then, all signs are pointing at this new Borderlands game being a step forwards for the series, with them trying something new on a few different fronts. It's still got that chaotic loot-driven core, but with a potential new tone and a new world, hopefully making things feel a bit fresh and new. So what do you think of all of this? Tell us below, and make sure to subscribe for more news on your favorite games coming very, very soon. Here at Arekkz Gaming, we're two friends who love to play games. You have me, Paradise, as well as 26.
Our goal is to keep the videos as concise as possible by cutting out any of the fluff and focusing on what really matters with high quality videos.
So make sure you're subscribed down below for more videos on your favorite games coming very, very soon.